guys, welcome back to Ratchet Christian. My name is Asmau and I am the Ratchet Christian. So we're starting a new series today and it's just a story time. I'll just be telling you guys some little stories about life and things that have happened and just all the things. So today I'm going to be telling you guys a story about how I was 2 hours late for a date because I was learning or receiving the gift of speaking in tongues. I don't know that much about speaking in tongues. I really don't. I just know that I can do it. Some people can do it. Not all believers have it, I don't think, but maybe all believers do. I don't know. But I just know that back in 2017, I received the gift of tongues when I was at church. I was living in Virginia. And I used to go to this church called Hope Aglow. If you're in Woodbridge, Virginia, check it out. I love it. I thought it was a super dope church. So one particular Sunday, they did like an altar call. Like, if you haven't received the gift of tongues yet, come up to the altar. And I always thought like, oh, maybe I can't speak in tongues because I'm evil. You know what I mean? I know like we're all wretched sinners and stuff like that, but I really thought like God thinks I'm evil, so he's not going to give me the gift of tongues. So I was like, okay, maybe today he's feeling generous. He's going to let me have the gift of tongues. So I go up to the altar, do the altar call. They pray over us and nothing happens. And service was about to end. So they were just like, okay, you know what? Like, they took me, myself, and like some other people who had gone up there to a separate room. And some of the elders from the church just like prayed over us. This one particular older man, he was so nice, just laid hands on my head and started to pray for me. Like, I didn't even know what specifically he was just praying, but just asking God to bless me with the gift of tongues. And he was like, just open your mouth and speak. And I was so nervous, I was so scared, because I'm like, what if I make a weird sound? Like, this is gonna be so embarrassing. What if I just scream? Like, I don't know, I was so scared. And so I was just like, well, let me just try it. So I opened up my mouth and all of a sudden I'm speaking in tongues, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm speaking in tongues. I hope I'm doing it right. I hope I'm saying the right things. Because the thing about speaking in tongues, like, you don't know what it is that you're saying. That's another gift where some people do have the gift of being able to discern tongue, the gift of tongues. So as you're praying, is essentially like your spirit is praying. It's like a spiritual language that only God and the angels know. So whenever I'm praying in tongues, I don't know what it is that I'm saying, but I just know it's my spirit, petitioning for me and others before God. So as long as God understands it, I'm fine with that. So receiving the gift of tongues was amazing. It was great. But I had a brunch date scheduled for after church with my spicy self. I was supposed to go on a date after church with this guy, and this was going to be our second date. We had already gone out on our first date and it went really well. And so he's like, oh, let's do brunch in DC for our second date. And I was like, yes, I'm a bougie black girl. Brunch in DC, you're speaking my language. So we were supposed to meet up at 3. I did not get out of church until 3 o'clock. And so I was just texting him like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm running super late. I'll explain to you why when I get there. Please don't leave. And so he was nice. He was super sweet. He ended up staying the whole 2 hours that I took to get ready to drive from Virginia to DC. He waited, just got his laptop and did some work. I was like, you must really like me, you stayed. Still rude to be 2 hours late for a date, but I had a good reason. I was receiving a spiritual gift. So I show up at the restaurant and I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, you won't believe why I was running so late. And he's like a Christian, so it wouldn't be too far-fetched, to believe that I was late because I was speaking in tongues or learning how to speak in tongues. So I told him the story and he was like cool about it. He's like, yeah, totally get it. I understand. And I was like thinking to myself, like, this guy probably thinks I'm such a weirdo. He's never gonna hang out with me again. But we ended up having a really good date after that. He had other things planned that we were supposed to do after the date, but I got there so late that all of that stuff was canceled. And he was supposed to go to a concert afterwards with his friends. And I was like, well, like, I can just go to the concert with you. And he's like, yeah, sure. So I ended up going to this concert with him after the date, and it just ended up being like one of the best dates ever. And him and I, we didn't end up dating because I moved to LA like soon after, but we're still really, really good friends. And yeah, like, we're still cool to this day. So that is the story about how I was 2 hours late to a date because I was learning how to speak in tongues with my super saved self. So yeah, these are just gonna be quick little short stories. I have one next week that I already know that I'm gonna do, so come back in, tune in for the tea. I was gonna make some tea and grab some coffee, but you know what, it's like 90 degrees in LA right now. It's hot. I ain't got time to be sipping coffee and spilling tea, and drinking tea. I'm just gonna spill the tea and that's gonna be it. So yeah, that's our first story time. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back next week to see what story I'm gonna tell. And also, please like and subscribe. I always forget to ask people to like and subscribe, which is like so important. Please, if you enjoy my videos or if you find them edifying and fun and fulfilling, make sure you like them, make sure you subscribe, and leave some comments below and share them with your friends. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye. Bye.